Hi, my name is Benedict for Higher Hertz. This video is not going to be a review, it's actually going to be a technique, a how-to video. The reason for this is because I've been asked a couple of times to review or work in situations around vocal chains and vocal plugins, which are just wrong. Everything about that concept is wrong. The way that vocals are mixed is a time-consuming process, and it does take time to learn, but there's no reason you can't learn. But if you start with the wrong basis, if you start in the wrong place, you're going to faceplant. And it's hard enough to get an audience as it is, but if the records that you put out are fundamentally broken from a result of, well, having been drawn into the wrong idea of how these things should be done, then it's no good for you. We do like to focus on beginners, people finding their feet. So seeing things like, oh, this is the vocal chain or this is the vocal plugin is going to do the work for you really gets my back up. We have a track courtesy of Jake Cropley, who is a young fellow I'm doing a lot of work with. He's been really excited to have a track used. This is from an EP of some pop tracks that he's had around on his drive for a while. That's going to be used as leader to a more serious songwriter, light country record that I really encouraged him to make because he's got a huge amount of talent.
Late night, I'm lying, phone lights, replying, wishing I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. I could feel you now. Your touch is ecstasy. I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me see the light. No, the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been.
Let's dip in.
I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night.
That is raw. There is no mix here at all yet. I really wanted to wait for the opportunity when I had a track come in that I could show you from the beginning. Otherwise it becomes more mixed walkthrough. I do plenty of mixed walkthrough, but that's after the fact. Here's what I did, and here's the plugins I used, and here's why I did this way. But this time I'm going to be taking the approach of I've got raw landed right here, because this is exactly what you're going to have. You're going to have somebody send you this raw material. This is what's called multi-tracks or stems, or you're going to have recorded it and hopefully have something that looks like this. Maybe not as big as this, because Jake is into big tracks. We've just finished working on, actually no, we're halfway through, finished working on one that's got I think it was 126, but we're working on one that's got 200 tracks at the moment. He's a little bit of the overkill, but it always works out for him because things are well thought through. Often I start with the good and bad about the thing I'm reviewing. This time we're going to take that format but do it a little bit differently. We're going to look at what are we here to do, so we've got a really good grounding before we start going off and being dragged into doing dumb things. Number one, what is our aim here? We've established who our artist is, what the song is. Therefore, we should hopefully have established some sense of what the song's about. Is it a love song? Is it like Cannibal Corpse about chopping people up and putting them in your freezer? What is it? Okay, this is obviously a love song. You are my medicine. Great, cool. It is a pop track. Cool. We need to know these things. We need to understand and have this feeling. It's not about genre. It's about understanding the story. If you're not understanding the story and working out how to tell that story, you will be sunk. So our aim here obviously is a vocal that draws the listener in. Jake here is telling a story, and that's great. If people can't get into the story, they won't come back. So we need to make sure that that vocal draws the listener in and makes them engage. A, with the story, and B, with Jake as a performer, so they go, I like that boy's form, can I hear more? That's your aim. If that's not your aim, it's broken already. We also will need to look at some of the myths. Okay, we're lucky in the sense that I don't need to do a good and bad of Jake's vocals because, as a matter of principle, they're almost always good. He's fussy. It's not to say there can't be times where he's a little south of tune, but we can all do that. But overall, he knows what he's there to do, which is tell the story, and we got good results. So let's go with the myths. Number one myth, fancy microphones. You do not need a fancy microphone. I will pop up a picture on screen of the microphone that I use for this and the few times where I need to do vocal recordings with either myself, which is not a great plan, or other people, and it's a Behringer Ultra Voice. It's about a $48 Australian mic. It is dirt cheap. You do not need a fancier mic. A dynamic microphone, if you're starting out, is the right microphone to have. People will try and tell you, oh, but you lose quality, man. You need a condenser because it's the only way to get, It's a good way to end up with nasty sounding recordings, because the more sensitive the microphone, the more problems you will have with the recording quality. So get yourself a robust and affordable microphone. The Behringer Ultra Voice will do just fine. If you feel the need to have a label, then go get yourself a Shure SM58. Swing the thing around your head, bang it against the concrete, it'll still keep going. Not my recommended plan for what you do with it, but it's a tough son of a. Vocal chains, as I already touched on, a plugin or a collection of plugins that you insert and that somehow magically turn your garbage out of tune, out of time warblings while sitting on the toilet with your iPhone 4 like this into Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, whatever. Real mix engineers do not use presets, pre-built chains, anything that's this is what we do over and over and over again, or we plug this in and instantly everything is great. It's a massive fail of an idea and it should be stricken. It especially should not appear on any manufacturer who claims any kind of credibility. Vocal chains do not exist. Get rid of them. Get rid of the idea. The idea is that we adapt to the material that we've got. Yes, there are certain things we'll tend to do over and over again. But if we've got them set up as a chain, it means we're not doing them. And as I've just touched on, effects do not make the performance. So it doesn't matter whether you're thinking auto-tune, melodyne, distortion, flanges, delays, anything, whatever it is, you name it, drip for drips, it will not make the performance. If your performance is busted, do it again. If your performer is going to have a cow about it, walk away. If you are the performer and you don't want to do a take that's worthy, walk away. Come back another time. Or accept that this is as good as you can do right now and have at it. But if you think that you can do a shoddy, lazy performance and just pluginify that into amazing, you have just failed already. Have the right mindset. Deliver an amazing performance. Now, the great thing is, I have mixed some records where the person's out of time, out of tune. There's actually a record that I mixed. Oh, I did kind of produce it. I had to take over and do a lot of stuff, but I mixed primarily where the guy had cerebral palsy. He was deaf. It was a laundry list of reasons why this really shouldn't happen. And yeah, I had to hammer him with the full weight of an auto-tune. I possibly would find a better method now with another at least decade of experience. But you know what? His performance was still good, bearing in mind all these issues. He still listens to it. It went on the BBC. So if you're not able to deliver a supposedly perfect performance, don't. Deliver a performance that hits me here. And then it can be mixed and it will still come out well. Accept what you've got and work with it. Effects are not your friend. The traps, this is what we've just been talking about, a poor or lazy delivery. If you or your talent are only going to give you a poor or lazy delivery, walk away. That's a dead song. Premixed beats, I know a lot of you are going to be working with them, but they are a trap. You'll see that my mix here works backwards. We're not going to do the whole mix, but my mix here works backwards. When you have your backing already mixed, and I know that's the common myth, and it gets done that way, but you've got less room to fit your vocal in, especially if you're downloading pre-mixed and pre-mastered beats. Anyone who sends you a pre-mastered beat is just flown a flag saying, doofus, and I think that you are stupider than I am. Because if it's already pre-mixed and pre-mastered, how have you got space for your stuff? You'll see that everything should be built up around the vocal. These days, a lot of times vocals are mixed too dry. Your aim is to make a vocal that draws a listener in, therefore it has to be beautiful. And that is exactly the same whether we're talking me mixing Celine Dion or me mixing Cannibal Corpse. One of them supposedly beautiful, the other one supposedly not, but that vocal has to be beautiful in its platform, in its right. Underuse of effects tends to lead to creepy feeling performances. If you've got some kind of problem with hearing echo, get over it. Because effects, in that sense, are really necessary to help build beauty. Don't go saying, oh, well, I don't need to do backing vocals, I'll just get the effects to do it. That's lazy. You'll see Jake Majors in backing vocals. You can see them all here, all piled up. And that's a small number for him. The other one can be too many effects, that you hear people dropping effects in and out on vocals, and it's like, hang on, is this a sideshow or a song? There are times where that can be great. Cher's Do I Believe is great use of effects, great use of process, great use of, wow, that stands out. But you know what? She could go out and sing that song in her trackies and it'd still fire like nothing on earth. So don't overdo effects at the same time, as in particularly looking at switching in funky or kind of effects on your voice, because that just means that you did a poor or lazy delivery and you're trying to make it shine by setting off fireworks in the middle of it. Remember, Cher's Believe will work with her not having had a bath, wearing a tracky dags, because she can sing. Get a good performance, even if it's rough, that's fine, so long as it grabs, you're winning. Okay, let's start looking at what we've got. Now, looking at what we've got is really important before you start mixing and making any decisions. What have we got?
I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright.
That's what we've got. We've got a pretty good vocal. I think this is a few years old and comes from an older version of his studio, because I think I can hear some minor imperfections, but no one's going to hear this in the end. No one's going to hear this. People are going to hear this and go, wow, cool. How great is this? So don't fuss on little imperfections. We've mixed some of his older records with pops, things where he's done edits with less than perfect skill, and in the end, no one's going to know any of that's there because they're going to be listening to the song. And if they are the one idiot in a forum who goes, you'll be like, yeah, piss off. You were never going to buy the record anyway. First thing I hope you notice is how organized this is. Everything is organized. Before you start a mix, you must set up your mix. First part of setting up your mix is listening to it, knowing what your material is. Yes, we've got some real sense.
I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light.
I kind of lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. Screaming love song. Brilliant. Love it. But we need to be also organized. So if you're doing a full mix, set everything up in sections. Most DAWs have the ability to put things into buses, so we can see all my drum things are going into a drum bus. My basses go into a bass bus, and then my drums and bass go into a rhythm bus. So if I turn off the current solo, now none of this is mixed, and none of this is going to be mixed in this session. It will be mixed later, but not now. And this is part of my point. We've got our sections. Now you'll see that I have given a rough level on each of these. I want a sense of what the background is going to be, the one I'm mixing to. This is a vocal mix. It's going to become a full mix, but it's a vocal mix, and I will start with the vocals first. Very tempting to start on the other end and go, oh, well, I'll make the most perfectest backing. And then my vocal will fit into it. No, your vocal will really struggle to fit into it. Don't do it that way. It's a trap for the unwary. You might think, oh, as you're mixing this stuff, but that's just like those guys. You watch their YouTube videos and they're dancing in their chair like, yeah, I'm so producery, man. It's like, no. You watch real guys doing real work. They are, well, mix engineers are a funny lot. Most of us are artistic. So we see the world our way. So if you spend your time proving how down you is whilst you is mixing, all you're doing is listening to your ego. You are not listening to the speakers. Sadly, I have to listen to these things, so I'm not expecting a perfect mix out of this, but I'm showing you the style. So we got our vocal. Our vocals are bus. For the moment, all my vocals are going to one bus. As we go down the path, it's entirely likely that I may pull out some or several sections and put them into a bus, which then still goes to the main bus. Make sure you are set up for a good mix, because if you haven't done the setup work, which is a little dull, but that's part of being a mix engineer. If you don't want to be a mix engineer, hire one. If you don't want to be a tape op and do the setup work, hire one. Right, number one thing. Once we've got what we want, we're hearing what we've got.
Heed your supplying.
I will isolate my lead vocal. I don't work a lot in solo, but at these sorts of times I'm prone to putting them into solo. I then need to set up the space in which this piece happens. What kind of space is this happening? We can think logically and say, well, he's in a bathroom at the bottom of a shopping centre. Beside the shopping centre, there's a hospital, and on the other side, there's a drug and alcohol rehab unit. That's pretty silly. We can do that, and there are times where that's exactly what I'll do, to set a scene, but this is a broad love song. So what kind of size space do we think that we are in? And this is where we start to get technical, and we need to know our stuff. Sorry, I never work on one screen, so it's just kind of creepy for me having to narrow myself down to one screen. Our friend now is the send effect. Do not put vocal reverbs on the vocal bus. So my vocal bus over here, the idiot move would be to say, oh, okay, let's just install a reverb here. Oh, look, I just did something super clever.
I could feel you now. Your love's
Not the right way to do it, because your vocal will never glue with the rest of the track. If you have got a pre-mixed and pre-mastered beat, still do not do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back over to our sends. What this looks like in your DAW is your thing, but you should know how to use your DAW before you start doing this. This is a send, so if we look at the wiring, so you get the concept, effects send goes to the input, it ignore all this other spaghetti of our reverb unit. The output goes to the effect return. Nice and simple. That needs to be set to 100% wet, nothing but 100% wet. So when we go to our mixer,
a drug to me, wish that I could feel you.
I go to my bus and turn my reverb on there. Again, you will see the rookie error of people turning on effects all over each of the tracks that are feeding to a bus and then nothing on the bus. You do some processing on the bus, the reverb sound that it's getting is pre-processing and therefore no longer matches the sound that the listener is hearing. There are a few times in which that's a good call, but more often than not, it's a terrible call. Let's say we had no delay here, but a delay here. Your echo is going to appear, but there's going to be no reverb after it. That might be a conscious decision, but unless it's a conscious decision, it's a fail. So you do not send from the actual vocal track. You send from the bus. Summing things to buses is really super important and a massive step in learning to mix. It's possible to mix without buses. I used to when I was young and silly. Even though I was taught with buses, I was like, oh. But then once it's like, oh. Because when people hear your track, they should not be hearing, what have we got, 40 separate tracks coming at them. That's just confusing. It's like, yeah. It's like you might be looking at this mixer going, oh, too many knobs, that's confusing, man. Nah. People want to hear one song. So the more we can narrow that down to being the song as a blob, the better. We don't lose anything, we gain.
Now, your touch is ecstasy. I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back
That's a haul. I don't think I want a haul for this.
again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through.
Rooms are more the sort of space that I want. Arena is just too diffuse.
With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been.
Oh, plate. Plates are great for vocals.
Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
A little bit of pre-delay helps embiggen that sound, and also gives a little bit of point where we're hearing the voice, and then the reverb comes in after. Gives us a little bit more clarity, as well as giving the sense of a slightly bigger sound. So that's good. I'm going to go with that. I'm also going to put in a second reverb. So effects. Now I'm going to use one of my own. You have to know your devices. You really do. Just randomly putting things on might get you there, but there's a fair chance that it won't. I'm also going to use this guy. Now he's wired in as number 2, which is what it should be. Just physically put it in the wrong spot. This is one of my own personal devices. This takes a little bit of time to set up. Again, we'll get the dry out. We'll go back to here. Now we'll turn off the first reverb, turn on the second one.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Now you'll be hearing that start to, you might think, oh, that's awful. Yeah. I tend to work with 2 reverbs a lot of the time, sometimes more, but 2 is great. 2 gives you far more than 1. You can work with 1, but 2 gives you more. So we've got early reflections, which is just these 4 delay times.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
And now we've got a pair of reverbs, the two of them together. Notice how as soon as the two come in, he sort of and becomes richer. Part of that is because that second reverb has a lot of modulation in it. It's kind of the equivalent of tape and a chamber room, a very sparse kind of reverb, a lot of movement, and that really fills him out. If we listen to each of those in solo, come on, Jake, start singing. That's our plate.
Come and take me through the night with you in my arms.
Here, one of them's really bright, super bright. I made that super bright. The other one's warmer. It's giving this huge sort of body. So now we balance those.
Again, as strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
I like that space. That's a nice feel. I've balanced those up. We may finesse reverb level as we go, but now I've got a sense of this is what I'm pushing into the room. So I pop it out of solo. We'll do that there.
Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me.
Now you see that I've assigned that to every bus. So now everything that I'm hearing is going into that room. Remember, this has to happen in one place and people have to hear one thing. If we scattergun and separate everything out, we have failed. That is not mix engineer work. It's just, well, stupid. So I have backed off the amount of send to our reverb for our rhythm section, because if it's too reverby, well, it can be difficult. But we've now got a sense that everything in this is happening in this space. That's good. If we have issues with the space, it's now a universal change, not a, oh, we have to change it here and then we have to change it there and we have to, that's just not mix engineering. It's overproducing and making a mess. Let's listen to our vocals again.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night with you in my arms again.
So straight away, we've got this extra sense of fullness around Jake's voice. And that's what I mean about making something sound beautiful. If this was, what's his face from Pantera, who's prone to being, we'd still get that sense of fullness and around him. But it's the beauty that we're looking for, that when, no matter what this is about, this is the thing that we want to do. So reverb, very much your friend. Let's start to look at the lead vocal. Actually, I'm not going to pop them in solo. I'm just going to take all these other tracks and pull them back. Solo is easy to do, but it's a dangerous path.
And as strong as I've ever been, wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me see the light. The feelings are back again.
So there's just enough music, only just enough music. We're not looking for a mix here. We're just looking for enough to let me know what's going on. If you are that attached to going, oh, but it has to blam as I'm working, man, then you're not mixing, you're stroking your own ego. That's fine, but you're not mixing.
And you are the medicine.
So we've got our lead vocal. If we go to...
Feelings are back again.
Yeah, you've got to get used to the fact that you will be hearing the same things go round and round. If that's a problem for you, again, you just kind of either got to get used to it or move away. Here's my lead vocal. I prefer it when vocals come to me ready to go. I do not love having to spend hours and hours working on a vocal that was poorly delivered and then somebody thinks that they're going to solve everything by using me to do editing. But there are commonly enough edits that will need to be done.
Wish that I could see you now, your face right next to me. Wish that I could see you now.
There are some breaths there. They're not really bothering me. A lot of modern vocals from untrained singers or inexperienced singers, more to the point, will cause problems. You will hear them breathe at the end of their line rather than at the beginning of the next line. Horrid, horrid thing. Try not to ever do that. You might hear that on record and go, oh, but it's the style, man. It's like, no, it's just awful. So hearing a suck in of breath before the line starts helps give you a sense of the line that's coming. As a singer, if you get to the end of your line and a sucking in air, it just says to the person who's listening, you really can't sing. It also means that if you've sucked in air here, you're starting to run out of air before you've gotten to about here, which is why you hear people sucking in air in the middle of their lines. So it's like, I love you. I think I'm going to need to cough. Don't do it. Learn that stamina so that you can get to the end of your lines, and then you will need a breath in here. If the breath is a little loud, we may have one that's going to be a little loud.
The air you breathe, I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back.
Okay, that one might be. Let's just solo him for the moment. Yeah, that's louder than I want to hear. It may be okay, but let's, for the sake of exercise, say that it's not okay. I'm just going to slice that bit there, and I'm not going to delete it. That's creepy. Where you hear people who've used heavy noise gates to get rid of everything but the top, it's like it, on, off, and that is abnormal.
To you now. The feelings are back.
We've still got a feeling of a breath there without hearing a suck.
Again, and you are the medicine. Come and take.
Again, that one we could say, yeah, let's just move it a little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot.
Me through the night with you in my arms again. I'm strong as I've ever been.
That one I don't like. I understand that he's taking the breath, but let's not have it overdone.
My arms again. I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you
see, much smoother. We're still aware of the breath. It still tells us this thing's coming, but it doesn't overdo it. It doesn't make a feature of breathing. You know, I hear records like this. Yuck, 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 yuck. You might say, oh, that's personal choice, but go back to older records, and while you will hear breathing, I mean, Steve Miller Band, big old jet airliner, starts with a as he sucks in air. But it's exciting in the performance. But a lot of modern records where they just have this girl who's over-mic'd, and we're just hearing her sucking in breaths, it's not sexy, it's creepy.
Wanna make you feel alright.
Now, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch going through it editing. Do not get anal on your editing. Just deal with the big issues and nothing else. Okay, they belong there, that's fine. So we will say that's kind of the editing you need to do. If your singer cannot sing in tune or in time, again, please try again. Get another one. We'll have a quick look at this. There's a Melodyne style editor in here. Reason has very nice sort of pitching and what have you. But I've not heard anything that I don't think belongs here.
I'm lying. Phone lights replying.
As you see, Jake has a big vibrato. It's a natural big vibrato, and I like it when he lets that out.
To taste the air you breathe.
Now he's scooped onto those notes. We could, in theory, say I need to put that right to where it is. Snap. Okay.
to taste the air you breathe.
It's now technically perfect, but was it really wrong before?
To taste the air you breathe.
Technically he's under, but he's got such a big vibrato that it still puts him there. So rather than being pedantic and saying, oh, well, it must be there,
Taste.
it's kind of, it makes his swoop, makes his slide, then feel a little funny. So unless it feels wrong, it's right. Do not mess with it. Don't get pedantic on anything. If we're going through this and I go, ooh, you missed, then I might look at finesse. But if you do feel the need to finesse, if you've really got a singer who just misses and they are at there, then go easy. Try not to use auto-tune at all, because it's just going to try and hammer everything flat. You'll be like, oh, it's great, it's all perfectly in tune now, but there will be no emotion left in that at all. Remember our aim, a vocal that draws a listener in, which means it has to be human. If it's not human, no listener is coming at all. So if we're looking at, I don't know any of this, let's see what can we find. All of these seem to be pretty nicely in tune. Yeah, that one's possibly questionable.
Help me see the
But his vibrato is so large that he's on the note anyway. It's just the system is not seeing it right.
The feelings are back again.
Yeah, technically that's flat because of such a long scoop, but
The feelings are back again, and you.
again, nothing's wrong. But if you do need to adjust something, more often than not, you're better to do minor adjustments than to be doing major adjustments. Finesse them just a tiny bit, the absolute smallest bit that's necessary to get it feeling comfortable. No one ever sings perfectly in tune. There ain't no such thing. So go easy on editing. You might feel like, oh, but I've got all this power, man. Don't use it. The best way to have power is to not use it. You know, the number one rule of Kung Fu school is don't fight people. If you haven't fought, you haven't lost. Therefore, you've won.
Now, the feelings are back again, and you are.
All right, so my vocal is tidy. Let's go back to... this is a real pain. My vocal thing, I'm comfortable, I've got the right reverb space. And now is where we start putting on processing and effects and stuff. The easiest way to go is with a good compressor. I will start with a good compressor. My favorite go-to and what works a beaut on Jake's voice is this fella. Did a whole review on it some months ago. This is a joyous device. I do, however, have a possible situation that I can see coming. Jake's vocal is fairly dynamic. We can see here that it goes from really pretty quiet to reasonably loud. And now that's necessary, that's part of the song. But here,
Late night, I'm lying.
this may be struggling to come into the mix.
The feelings are back again, and
Now, yes, I can use a compressor to do what was happening there. It's bringing that up nicely. You go, oh, yeah, that's nice. But now listen to what's happening.
the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
You can see it on the meter. We're pinning him, and he's starting to sound gutted. It's like, ugh, ugh. And it's not nice at all, because this is about him reaching out, which means it has to feel like it comes out like a wave. And if we compress him to hell, then he no longer feels like he's coming out like of a wave. It feels like we're ramming him into prison every time he gets expansive. Love is expansive. Love is not imprisoned. Therefore, we have to deal with this. There are a couple of ways of approaching this. We can slice, so we can say, okay, we'll go here, slice that, and turn the level of this up.
Late night, I'm lying.
So now we get this really nice, intimate sort of feel. That is one approach. And probably the one that I would take, but I'll show you another one. There is a kind of tool which you need to use with extreme care. So if you don't have one, don't be upset, don't go out and get one. is this. It's a different kind of leveling tool. We'll turn that off. This is a compressor that kind of is reaching down more than pressing down. The other compressor is pressing down. You go over the level, it presses it down, which is why you hear the whoa. This will actually reach down and bring up the quieter sections. So let's go to a quieter section here. Too quiet.
That I could feel you back again, and you are the medicine.
That comes up to full, so I don't need to move my target. But if I now start going to the quieter bit,
fever is rising. Heat you're supplying. Wish that I could feel you now. Your love's a
but we need to be very, very careful with that because we can hear moves in volume. Okay, we're probably overdoing that, but there are those options which sometimes are a great way of handling a vocal that is uneven in levels. But I'm not going to do that. Here we are going to quite simply chop there, and let's go back to here.
Heat you're supplying. Wish that I could.
Yep, so I just need to find a point, choppity chop. And what did I put on the last one? I added 5.14. So my next bit here, and it'll be somewhere around that. We don't need to be fussy too much.
Fever is rising.
And he stays up for the rest of the song. With the possible exception of those little bits there, but we'll deal with those. Now we've got a more even vocal. We don't want to make this loud, while it'd be tempting to go, oh yeah, we'll bring that up loud. It's just going to sound weird. It's going to sound ugh. But we can move a few dB, and by moving here, we've got natural level change, whereas compression is not natural. There are great things about compression, but we don't want it to sound unnatural.
I'm like, the feelings are back again.
Now, compression. A lot of compressors will, by their default setting, be too heavy. Again, no presets. You'll see I open no presets here.
And you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been.
Now, as the name of the tool indicates, we just want to end up with a more even, a more level vocal. So as he goes, ah! We rein him in without making him sound like we just jammed him behind bars.
Wanna make you feel flying.
So if we listen to
fever,
no action. Cool.
Is rising. Heat you're supplying.
Very tempting, especially if you've got a FET style compressor, to have this down as the fastest as possible. Absolutely not. Again, we're not here to put Jake in prison. We need his dynamics to come through. Also, the faster the attack time, the more it'll shave off the little parts of the sound, and the little parts of the sound are the clarity, the trebly bits, the bits that really reach out and hook us in the emotional feely bits. If we go compressing those,
Wish that I could feel you now. Your love's a drug to me. Wish that I could feel you now.
oh yes, I wish I could feel you now. We've just killed the poor guy. Do not do that. So open up your attack time, at least probably 10 milliseconds, depends on your compressor.
Your touch is ecstasy. I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
My ratio was too high. I was like, whoa, why are we having a sudden jump?
Now, the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the...
So you want that balance between too closed will actually strip everything out of the vocal, and you hear how we made him sound miserable, very emo. If we go too far open, then the compressor really just isn't able to do its job. It's too slow to be able to level. Yes, it'll level your transients through, but it's not leveling. So 10, 20 or so will do.
With you in my arms again.
But you must listen. You are not doing this by numbers. You must listen. Your release, don't go too short or you're likely to get distortion or audible pumping.
I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind.
But that sounds about right. This device has a gain on the back end, so that serves two purposes. It'd be nice to have two knobs, but we've got the one, and it's part of the charm of this tool. This allows us to recover
help me see
what we've let out, but it doesn't give us any dB values, but it also sets the amount that we're pushing into this drive. Now you might think, why would I want to distort a vocalist? Oh, believe me.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Hopefully you can hear how he just becomes more vibrant as that comes in. If we want him to, depending on what we want to do, putting a vocalist through tube mics, not tube mics, but tube style devices, can rough them up, bring out some real character in their voice. That's our job, is to make this leap out, and that's helping us do that. One tool, great result.
Take me through the night with you in my arms.
Now this is long, this is going to be long, there's no way that this is not going to be long. You're seeing it happen in real time. I'll edit a little bit, but I will edit probably very little, because I try to cover most of the time with useful discussion, even if you think it's boring. Right, now, DSs. You'll hear talk about DSs. DS this, DS that, the other, DS the other. Better when I'm in effects. I found this fellow recently, and I've always had a funny relationship with DSs. Part of me does not like DSs, but this is kind of cool. So the DSer is designed that when we speak and when we sing, we can end up with a lot of sibilants coming through, which can sound unpleasant. And so the idea is that we use a very specialist compressor, so it's basically a dynamic EQ that focuses on the particular area. So we try to focus on the area where that nasty sound is appearing, and as it happens, just duck it out of the mix.
And I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light.
Now Jake's really good. I have little issue with him. Let's go a bit hard so you can see action. This has basic bands. Let's listen to the bands. Now we can hear sibilants there. We can take me through the night. Sorry, Jake. So if anything, probably just this high end, there was a little bit there that was a bit not the nicest.
Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make...
Couple of dB is more than enough there, just to get it out of the way. If we end up doing too much, hear how he sounds gutted again. Not to mention the fact that sense of emotion and engagement. Remember, this is all little hooks that reach out and grab us in the feelings.
To help me see the light.
I will now bypass everything.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
I feel like that sounds better. Better remember to hit save. Cool. I am actually really happy with that. But I'm going to look at EQ. Now, there are two places in which I will EQ. I will EQ what we might refer to as at the instrument. And that's where I will use a full-on EQ, probably Q range. There's then the level at the mix, and that's what I will use the inbuilt SSL mixer for. If you are using one of those DAWs that does not come with a mixer already plugged into your tracks, I do feel for you, but have a go-to mixer which is not like Q range or Pro 3 or whatever. Because if you start doing massive amounts of surgical EQing in your mix, you have lost the plot. There should not be massive amounts of surgical EQing unless there's an actual issue. I know you will see videos where they do, let me show you, where they will open up and say, okay, now we're going to show you how to EQ your vocal. And they will set up all these points and they will all be really sharp. And they'll be like, oh no, that frequency's no good. Oh, you better go through and, oh no, that sounds awful. Of course it sounds awful. We just boosted it by what, 18 dB or something or other, 24 dB. Of course it sounds awful. They'll say, oh no, that sounds awful. So now you need to actually get rid of that. And, oh, you better get rid of that. Oh yep, sibilants, get rid of that. And they will do this. Okay, I'm overdoing it, but what they're doing is overdoing it. A vocal or any EQ that looks like that, unless you're trying to create a guitar cabinet, it's the only reason to EQ like that, or you're trying to create your own weird-ass comb filter, there is no reason to ever EQ like this. Hear how it's gutted, just gutted. So do not do that. If you do have a particular issue,
wanna make you feel alright.
Let's say there's some room hum. It's not too uncommon to get room hum, especially if somebody has recorded with their computer. Then we will give ourselves a pretty pointy point and find it. It's probably going to be at about 60. We find it and go, okay, how narrow can I go to get rid of it without losing the vocal? If you're losing too much of the vocal and getting rid of the hum, live with the hum. There are plenty of records out there with some interesting artifacts in them if you listen closely. But that's as far as I will go with surgical EQ on vocals, because the more you EQ a vocal, in that way, the weirder it sounds. You may be impressed with yourself and your producer-ness, but you will actually be ruining the vocal every time you do something. So, general sounds. I'm going to start with this high pass. Loose numbers is the man you can start to roll off from about 80 hertz. You'll notice there's not a lot of value underneath that. So don't leave it there. All it's doing is messing up your bass end. It's wasting energy.
Wish that I could see you now.
But when you bring that in, make sure you don't end up making the singer sound thin. Unless you want them to. We're working a mix at the moment for one of his other tracks where we deliberately decided fairly early on we wanted to keep all the singers a little on the thin side. Because it's such a busy mix, it doesn't sound that way in the end, and it gives this really nice, bright, effervescent feel from having the slightly thin vocal.
Your face right next to me. Wish that I could see you now to taste the air you breathe.
Don't go into doing this.
I'm addicted to.
No EQ should ever look like that. Unless you know what you're doing, that's a big error. Probably best not to use bass as such at all. If your singer sounds a bit too thick,
the feelings are back again, and you are the man.
Especially if they've decided to cup the mic up into themselves like this, then you may need to do this because you need to back off what's called the proximity effect. If you're in the session, smack them, stop, smack them again, tell them to hold the mic properly, which means not cupping it, because the mic can't work. All they're doing is strangling themselves in their own performance. Get them to hold the mic or put it on a stand and chain their hands behind their back. If they can't learn mic technique, they're not ready to be a recording artist. So you can leave your bass
Come and
at.
take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make
We'll leave our treble alone.
you feel.
Let's see if there's a place in this voice where if we get rid of a little bit of something, we can clarify it. I'm not hearing anything as such that bothers me about Jake's voice. He's got quite a nice, clean, clear voice, especially the more openly he sings, the nicer it sounds.
I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you...
As is common enough, somewhere around here, so we've got his fundamental here, somewhere around here, just a little above your fundamental, maybe an octave above, you might find that if you pull that back a little bit, you clarify the whole vocal. If we go doing this,
fever.
Hear how he sounds too thick and kind of honky. We don't want that. So that's that frequency. Please don't go trying to look for things by pushing them. It's best to just go, okay, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do
Rising. Heed your supplying.
Now in every voice, regardless of the microphone, in every voice there's going to be a certain something that you can pull at. In a nice voice, you will find 2 or 3 certain somethings that you can pull at. There's one here.
That I could feel you now. Your love's a drug to me. Wish that I could feel.
Any of those somethings, if you pull them too far back, you change the emotion. If you push them too far, you change the emotion and you make them sound brittle. They are delicate things, but a tiny goose will be enough to goose the result quite noticeably.
Feel you now. Your touch is ecstasy.
Like most vocals, it can sound a little harsh around the mid here, around 1K. I'm going to leave that alone for now because we will look at that later in balance. We're not looking for perfect, we're just looking for what can we find in this voice to make a feature of.
I'm addicted to you now.
Nice. We're going to put a little bit of treble on.
The feelings are back again.
Because contrary to the inexperienced mix engineer's idea, treble is not to be filled with hi-hats and metal work and swishes. It's not really to be worked with directly at all. It's to be left clear for things to rise into. That's why it's referred to as air. And the best thing in a song with vocals to rise into the air is the vocal, because it allows it to be present and forward and central and feel lovely and engaging. So we let it fall into that, partly by making sure that there isn't a lot of other kludge. And now we've got a nice EQ feel there, and it's going to match the track because I can actually hear the track in the background. It's not competing, but I know it's there, and I know that it feels nice. This is experience. Only one way to get experience, and that's by doing it, publishing it, doing it again. Doing it, publishing it, doing it again. I'm going to try a echo or delay on this. One or both of these vocal parts are going to have an echo. So we don't need that there.
With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Make you feel alright.
First thing I'll do is turn off the BPM. Easy, lazy, wrong. Let's find it.
But I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light.
I like that. What BPM division it is, don't know, don't care, feels nice. Experience will just have you ultimately find that you just go and often go straight to where you should be. The more you work with a particular unit, the more your inner brain, your unconscious, knows what needs to be done. And you just trust it and you'll go, cool, I like it. And we need to set the sound, so I'll put it to 100% wet. Oh, if you hadn't noticed, a lot of the time, the first few moves that I make here are not to get it right. They're to set myself up for getting it right. So I'm finding the timing I'm not trying to get this right. I'm just finding the timing I like. Now I'm going to find the tone I like. Once I've got a time and a tone I like, then I can try and get it how I want it to be. Right.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
I want this vocal to feel like it's lifting and bright, so I'm going to EQ this so that it feels a little on the brighter side.
Come and take me through the night with you.
Take me through the night. Not really the story he's telling, is it?
You in my arms again, I'm strong as I've
Ever
ever
been.
been.
His echoes rise, and that changes or enhances the feeling of what he's trying to sing. So much as I might like a warm echo, oh, I love me a warm echo, this song does not want a warm echo. It wants a bright echo because we need to lift.
Make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
This isn't always my go-to echo. I don't really know why I chose it. It's a wonderful echo and I like it a lot. The problem I have is, as you hear that I'm adding in the modulation, it's ping-ponging. It's going, Jake needs to be central here. We can solve that.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but
It's a tiny amount, but it adds to him. Not only because we've got some modulation, so it's a little bit of chorusing, but as I said, it lifts his lines, so he sings his lines and they lift. That's what we want. Happy, happy, happy. It's pop music. The chorusing's giving him that's giving him a little bit of chorusing, as I said. You will see that I've mixed it fairly low, but we don't want it to disappear. We don't want it to be too loud, so it's like, it's not ping-pong here. I've also put a little bit of ducking on. If you don't have ducking, who cares? But I've put a little bit of ducking on because I have it, so that just means that as he's singing the new line, it just makes sure that the echo is not getting in the way. So it allows the echo to be present when he's not present. I'm not going 100% because that's just, again, creepy. What we need to do is just tell the listener, hey, we're focused on this, not on the echoes. You can focus on the echoes when the guy's not singing. It's those little subtle moves that tells the brain how they're perceiving things.
you were right to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
So that's an hour. I've obviously been talking at you. It would have been done quite a bit quicker. Even with Jake sitting beside me, would have been done a bit quicker. But take your time. There is no rush in this. I can A-B, and I feel like, yes, I have improved it. That is his lead vocal. But we don't say that's enough. Let's go listen.
Late night, I'm lying, phone lights replying. Wish that I could see you now, your face right next to me.
I could print that, bring it up to level, and release it. If we don't have that feeling at this point, we've not got it right.
Wish that I could see you now, to taste the air you breathe. I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night.
We could probably use an awful lot less guitar at the moment, but remember, this is not a mix. This is just us working on the vocal. That's the lead vocal. I'm going to call that done. I might call it undone when I take these things off, but for now I'm going to say that's done. Not going to do all the other bits and pieces, but we're going to do some of them. So we've got the doubles and then we've got the harmonies. I'll leave the harmonies out for now because let's be realistic, you're probably not going to get harmonies in a hurry. But if you've got backing vocals and you've worked out how to manage those, then you've probably got what you need to work out how to do harmonies.
You are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
So we've got our lead.
Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind.
Someone, I think it was Brian Eno. If you don't know the name, look it up. Brian Eno, E-N-O, important name to know. He did some research, or at least talked about some research, where he looked at very successful songs, so like top 10, top 5 type songs, and to see how many of them have backing vocals. Basic rule of thumb is if it doesn't have backing vocals, chances are it won't make it.
But you
don't get lazy.
To help me see the light,
backing vocals on their own, yeah, nice, not great.
Feelings are back again, and you are the man.
Yeah, that just lifts everything. So let's have a bit of a look-see. We'll pull this back. That's at 0 dB. You'll see half the time at the end of my mix, most of the faders are sitting at 0 dB. I do my mixing elsewhere. This is for finessing. We'll pull this one down and pop out a solo.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Now, I know that I'm going to want to do this, so let's do this now. Let's take these and put them to a bus. Back, Vox. Because I'm going to want to process these together, because that's part of how we handle backing vocals. So these go to backing vocals, and that goes to my vocal bus. So,
come and take me through the night.
So it's still got that reverb that we've put across the whole track and across the vocals. We'll assume that we've looked at our vocal tracks, our audio tracks, and that they are good, and we will go to the tracks themselves, which is this guy here.
Again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind.
Now I'll focus myself a little bit because that helps me. Yeah, there's a lot of sounds going on. A little bit of solo helps me focus it. So the question will be, do I want to process these individually, or do I want to process them as a group? Now I'm going to do a little bit of both. I am going to, what am I going to do? I keep going with instruments. I'm not using instruments here. I'll just do a little bit of de-essing just to make sure.
You are right to help.
Okay, that is enough. Now I'm going to end up using this one as well, so I might as well drag and drop into there. Let's get this fella out of the way. Listen to this one.
You are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my...
Now it's wired in.
Feel alright.
Sounds right.
I thought I lost my mind.
Better turn the filter off on that one. So we've got both of these.
But you were right to help me see.
Okay, cool. That's probably all I'm going to do on those, but I'm going to pull them into the bus. So into the bus, and then I'm going to compress. And this is where people get the misidea that a chain is used. Oh, well, I saw you use that before, so I could just have them as a chain and that'll be static and I can drop it and it'll work every time. No, N-O, no. No, no, no. When you own a cat, you can't give it the same food all day, every day before it goes, no, no, no. And this is like the same with mixing.
Be the light, the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again.
So I'm now processing my two backing vocals as one. This is really important. This is bussing, and bussing is magic. There are things that you can do with bussing that you can't do at track levels, and if you only ever mix at the track level, you're missing the joy on the things that you can achieve with your bus level.
And you are the medicine.
Now, we're hitting that too hard.
Come and take me through the night.
But with backing vocals, I often do hit them harder than the lead vocal, because they're there to fill, not to play lead. I have received some backing vocals a few times where the backing vocalist has tried to outdo the lead singer. This is a backing vocalist who should be sacked. If they're out on tour with a serious band, you know, the backing vocalist, she's gone out for her first show with Megadeth and she's like, she might find herself thrown off stage before the end of the show. Dave won't put up with that. Now, Dave's an interesting dynamic kind of a guy, but he'd be right, because she is wrong. So your backing vocalists are there to make your lead vocalist shine. There are times where they get to step forward. Sam Brown, I think it is, in Pink Floyd's Pulse, so where she gets to do the woo-woo-woo-woos, but that's her job at that point. When Dave's singing, her job is to back. So in these are backing vocals, so we do not let them get ahead of the lead.
With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been.
So I'm going to compress these to sound solid, really solid.
Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Because once we pop that out of solo,
the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night.
Better get my lead vocal back in the game.
With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light.
That's how it was done through the 80s. All those great big backing vocals you'd hear in glam metal and Chicago, LRB. This is how it's done, and you get this magical sound because we're making sure they don't tread on each other. So Jake's lead gets to be bright and high. This gets to be filling him in. Not that Jake needs a lot of filling in, but he gives me all these lovely vocals, so I'm going to use them.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Now we need to make sure that that is going to EQ properly, and the nature of this desk that we have to tell it to put the EQ after the inserts. Simply nature of the beast. Again, sorry, I normally work with 3 screens, so having to work with one it just feels rather gumby. Okay,
the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been.
Yeah, there's that beautiful sound from 2 voices. No tuning here at all, as far as I'm aware. Jake doesn't do a lot. Some things have come to me with tuning, but I'm only like 2 seconds in. It's like, you tuned this, didn't you? And he's like, yeah, won't do it again, sir.
Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help.
Now, I boosted Jake about here before. That's for his lead. Do not want to do that again. While it'll sound nice, don't want to do that again.
Help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
I'm thinking maybe there. Let's just pull that slightly, but I want this one to be thick.
Come and take me through the night.
You'll also notice that with his lead, I did this. And in this case, I am not going to do that. I might even do this.
With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright.
While you can do this, the problem is that we're now moving them into the same area as each other. So therefore they will start to fight.
I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night with you in my...
Turns out I wanted to actually pull it out. So always checking, always A-Bing, always checking that does it fit in the mix. So if I go back to here...
Out again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind.
We don't want those backing vocals to overrule the lead vocal at all. Now, a lot of you will be going, but you need to pan them. Do I? We'll look at panning, but not yet. There's a more important thing to do yet. I was trained for AM radio. In other words, it's a 4-inch paper cone, one single speaker. So everything had to have depth. I would work on this dimension because there was no that dimension. And the rule was, because I asked the stupid best question, but Warren? And he said, yes, Benedict, but our audience are listening to this on, and therefore we need this. If we don't have this, it's just going to sound, well, not very good. If this person suddenly gets themselves an FM radio, if your mix has nothing wrong with it and has great depth, it'll just take advantage of the stereo. It'll just go whoomp and bloom. And I was like, yeah, okay, sounds good. Went with it. I didn't have much choice because you had to do the job right or pick up your sandwich and never come back. And the thing is, he's right. When we go between making a mix that's going to sound great in mono because we've got wonderful depth, even if there's no stereoification done as such, minor amount of panning, suddenly, whoomp, it comes alive. But we need to place these in space. We used an echo to place Jake's lead, remember that echo? Now at the moment, we've got our backing vocalists uncomfortably close to our lead singer. Our backing vocalist is our lead singer. Nothing wrong with that at all. But when people are listening, would the backing vocalists be standing like this with the lead singer? No. Lead singer would be at the front of the stage going, oh, look at my hair, my lovely hair. And the backing vocalist would be at the back. Therefore, they should feel like they are deeper in the room than the lead vocalist. I don't care if they're more famous than the lead vocalist. Emmylou Harris will do backings for not famous singers. She knows what to do when she's doing backing vocals, even if she takes and does something really interesting as she's prone to doing. Amazing backing vocalist. She knows her place. So our place is to put these backing vocalists at the back.
Arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. You in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind.
Now that may be way too long in reality, but I'm kind of liking it.
But you arrived to help me see the light.
This has diffusion, which is basically turning it into half a reverb. Again, I would normally use one of my own devices. No reason I shouldn't. I probably should, but achieving the same result.
Feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Now the tone, remember I lifted here?
The feelings are back again, and you are
We may want to do that here,
the medicine.
but because we're using these to thicken, I don't think we want them to go down, because we know that that has a bit of a downer effect. But let's have our lead vocal lift more, and our backing vocals only slightly.
Take me through the night. You in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as
If we pull up our sequence.
me. Wish that I could see you now, to taste the air you breathe. I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms.
That's good mixing. You don't necessarily know they're there, but when they're gone, you're like, bring them back. There's now a really filling him in very, very nicely. They're giving this massive rise as that chorus comes in. We should be checking through other parts of the song too.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night.
Nice. That's a really nice vocal mix. We could put it into solo.
With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright.
And actually print a mix. Definitely with this very rough, unmixed material behind it, because our vocal sounds good, our band sounds good. When I sold cars, we often had to deliver cars at a moment's notice, and we worked in a very dirty environment. We had a woodworker behind us, and so they were constantly putting wood stuff, chip, everything, sawdust, burnt stuff up into the air. And we would have to deliver these cars covered in wood chip. And I remember once I would be like, oh no, the car's dirty and I have to deliver it. And the boss said to me, he said, you don't have the time to clean that whole car. He said, but the impression that people will get is from the few things. So he said, seeing you don't have the time to do the whole car, what you do have is time to go and clean the windscreen, clean the mirrors that people are going to look in the rearview mirrors, and possibly some time to wipe down the headlights and the front bumper. So that's what I did, because that's what people focus on. They came in, they saw their car, they were eager and excited, and that's great. And they're like, oh, isn't it lovely? Oh, it's so shiny, it's so clean, isn't it great? And I almost felt guilty, but you know what? I didn't. They got the experience that they came for. For them, that car felt perfect and clean. And this is the same thing. If we get our vocal right, everything underneath it will actually fit in. The human brain will go, yeah, and ignore any imperfections when we've got the vocal right. And the vocal doesn't even have to be perfectly right. It just has to grab people. Listen to a lot of quite famous bands with, Rod Stewart. Plenty of people would say he shouldn't have the right to sing, with that voice. But he's such an awesome emoter that who cares, 'cause it's Rod. Lou Reed, Bob Dylan, lots and lots of these people, Gary Newman. Prepare everything right, get a good performance, and then everything will fall into place, rather than obsessing over the technicalities of like, oh, do I need to move that another 3/4 of a dB? Do I need to EQ it at... F off, that's not mixing. Mixing's about knowing how to get the right result. Remember, our aim was a vocal that draws the listener in.
I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again.
That will draw in the right listener. If it's not your genre, but if you love music, you should be able to go, that's pretty good. So that is really it for vocal mix. We might do one more thing, which I might or might not do depending upon the mix, and I would normally have a more complete vocal mix before I did it, and that is going to the bus, and I will use a different processor. I'm not going to use the same compressor that I used before. I will pull in one of my favorites, which is the Molotok compressor, and then look at maybe just a little bit of bussing, bluing. I don't want it to use its extra fancy features, don't want them. A little bit of the old.
Oh, the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Oh, the feelings are back again, and you.
Now, I've managed to go straight to the good timing. Hear how that's really emphasizing the groove, the rhythm of the performance. I am hammering it at the moment, and in no way that I would let that stand. But come on, Jake. Oh no, you won't, because I've gone past the loop. Let's put the loop here.
The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me.
But that tells me that this bus compressor is doing the right job. It's doing it far too enthusiastically, but it's doing the right job. My timing is nice. It fits his performance really well. It emphasizes the rhythm of his performance. So that means I just need to back it off.
Through the night, with you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost.
I pull that ratio right down. Anything over 2 is probably too much. I can hear some crackles in there. I don't know whether that's because I've introduced some drive or whether it's just noise from the recording. I'm aware that it's there. I'm not going to waste time chasing down what it is. If you do find you've got something like that, then go through track by track with what you've got and have a look. It's not a meters thing. It might be overdrive. I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be on the track, in which case I'm actually not going to worry about it, because chances are once we've got all the music and everything in, no one's going to hear it.
It's my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
That pushes everything together a little bit more. But it does take away some of the highs, because when it does take away some of the highs. But this is something that we would do anyway. We'll take that whole vocal bus.
Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you arrived to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you.
Common enough practice that somewhere around 1K you might pull off no more than about a dB. If you're pulling off more than a dB, and I'd like to go easier than that, to be honest, then you're going to do too much. It's easier to come in and go, but you'll quickly find your vocal starts to sound gutted. It is far better to do that once you've got the track in.
Feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my.
But somewhere in that arena, you'll find that there's a point where up to about a dB down in the sort of 6 to 1200 arena, there'll be a point where it's suddenly, your vocal suddenly becomes one with the mix. No carving stuff out of your mix, all that kind of rubbish. You can do it here and it should meld together. And one of the great advantages of mixing your vocals first is that when I come to doing the instrument mix, let's just look at the drums very quickly. Drums, drums, drums. Wherefore art thou, drums? Yeah, here we go. We're going to have some issues. That's good. Where's my unsolo thing? So I guess I'll just unsolo it here.
I thought I lost my mind, but you were.
And that's not because I haven't compressed my drums or anything. It will help if I do. Matter of fact, let's just quickly do that. Because I don't want people thinking, oh, well, that's just because you didn't do it properly. No, 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 no. I'm showing you that this really is the case.
To help me see the light, the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you...
Okay, there's all kinds of issues there, but, you know, that's all right. I've shed some level. We've shed a little bit of top end, but you hear where, with the vocal...
Strong as I've ever been, wanna make you feel...
What is this? Is this Hi-Hats United show? No. No, 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 no.
Feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me see the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine.
Still got nice hi-hats. We can make them a lot nicer with a proper mix and probably a little less drive here.
Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me.
Struggling. I know there's a big level difference. It's I'll let it happen. Actually, there's another way to... Let's take drums and bass and pull them back.
See the light. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night.
It's relatively subtle, but you'll find that the vocal comes forward when we're not competing with our EQs here. So when you come to do the rest of the mix, your job is to make the rest of the mix fit the already lovely vocal. If something needs finessing at the end, great, by all means. But if we've got too much going on, like I know Jake loves his hi-hats.
You in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me light. Feelings and you are the medicine. The feelings are better.
My job is to complement the vocal. I don't care who's in the band. And if they're a professional, if we've got, you know, a band full of members out of Metallica and U2 and Ed Sheeran's backing band, and they are playing backing for Jake here, they are professionals and they know that this is not their show. They are here to help Jake get his song done. So they are not going to be standing behind the mix engineer going, but my instrument needs to be louder. By the time they've got to where they are, they will know that that's not the way it goes. Because what they actually want is to get that song sold. And the way to get that song sold is by people listening to it and going, "Ah, Jake, have my babies." And that gets them more income if they're being paid points out of their performance. And then the activity there goes, oh, but this guy was in this and this guy was in the backing band and what have you. That's how they get more work. So don't let your ego have you chasing every little thing. Focus on your vocal mix. If it's a vocal song, a song with vocals is a vocal song, then I strongly advise put aside all those preconceived ideas of fancy mics, stupid vocal chains, using effects to try to make your performance good when it's not, of being lazy, of trying to use pre-mixed beats to make it easy, or anything that says it's going to mix it for you, provided it's not an actual mix engineer with a good history. Make sure that it's beautiful. Get those reverbs and delays so that you're getting beautiful space, this feeling of space, and how the vocal manages itself inside that space, how that space helps build the vocal in whichever way it's going. If we are doing emo, then yeah, I probably would have done those delays get darker. Oh, I am so miserable. If it's doom metal, then maybe kind of the same thing. But seeing this as an up song, you were supposed to make us happy and feel dancey, then is not really the way we want to go. We want that echo to actually, you are the medicine, in feel. Lucky I'm not a singer. No doubt you're going to have questions. It's not my job to mix your thing by proxy unless you've hired me to do that, but I don't mind answering some broad questions. If you are trying to get me to assess your mix, A, that's a paid service, but B, if you really do need me to assess your mix in public, two things. One, give a very clear mix that we can all hear. If you just stick your phone in front of your screen and loudspeakers and send that to me, I will at best ignore you, because you haven't actually given anything worth anything. So put it on YouTube. If you need to put it on an unlisted, great, then share that. Not with me privately unless you're hiring me privately, but if you're going to do it publicly, great. So number one is a listenable performance that's, as good a mix as you can bounce out and that we can see. OBS is great. Using it now as I speak, endlessly. And number two is that if you put yourself up for criticism, criticism is what you will get. Not to be like, you suck. Unless I say to you, you suck, never do this again, I am not saying you suck and to never do it again. I don't think I've ever said that to anyone, ever. I've had people say that I've said that to them, but when we go back and look at what I said, I've said you might want to look at. So if you put yourself up for criticism, take it like a man, because the criticism given will be about how to help you be better, but understand this is my profession. While I'm happy to help, if you are serious about doing it, either hire a mix engineer, or if you're serious about getting feedback, hire somebody who you really respect to give you that feedback. And that way, what comes back may be a little bit of an ego challenge, but that's part of learning to be a better artist. Those artists who go, how dare you, I'm an artist and I know everything, they don't get anywhere. Either Dave Mustaine is probably taking advice from his manager or his record company going, Dave, that record where you said all these things, I don't think we can do it that way. In which case he has to toddle off and change it to something that will fly. We all have to do that to get it out there, and our job is to get it out there. As I said, feel free to ask questions. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, please, because this is letting us know that things are going well. Engage with us. The more we have people talk to us, the more we know how to give you what you're looking for. Higher hertz. Have a wonderful day.
Late night, I'm lying, phone lights, replying, I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. I could feel you now. Your touch is ecstasy. I'm addicted to you now. The feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been. Wanna make you feel alright. I thought I lost my mind, but you were right to help me see the light. No, the feelings are back again, and you are the medicine. Come and take me through the night. With you in my arms again, I'm strong as I've ever been.